Okay, my people. Once again, welcome to FBA All Day, the show about justice and understanding for our people. I am the Lord Eric Steele, aka Big Rossi Love, the perpetual student of the survival scrolls. If you know, you know. I'm going to finish up. This is part 3 on this series we're doing for Tyre Nichols, our brother we lost in Memphis to being murdered by some tyrant police officers. Today is going to be the final. I'm gonna keep up with this as well as I keep up with our other pursuing issues that come up with our family, but this one needs to be brought to rest. I'm gonna pick up where I left off last, which is my questions referring to Detective McKinney. For some reason, she's been excluded from everything. I don't know why charges haven't been brought against her. I can find no charges being brought against her, but she lied and she filed a false police report. We do have that here as well. The first sentence she said was she was one of the first ones on scene. She was never there. That's a lie. So everything she said from then on is just a compounded lie. Excuse me. The discrepancy was never mentioned in court. They didn't go over it in court. They didn't clear it up in court, but it's prevalent. Okay? Now, when she wrote that Nichols was sweating profusely when he got out of the car, we know that was a lie. He was not sweating. He wasn't irate, as she stated in her report. He was very taken aback. He was curious as to what he'd done. It looked like the face of fear, if you ask me, what he looked like when he got out of the car. And he didn't get out of his own accord. They pulled him out of the car. They yanked him out. Haley yanked him out of the car, to be exact. And we see that with the body cam footage. But she wrote that that Nichols reached for Martin's gun. And we can see from the video that that's a lie as well. So she just made up a bunch of stuff. I don't know what that was about, why she wasn't prosecuted for that. She should have, at the very least, she should have been fired for that, filing a false report. When the prosecutor asked Martin, was it true that Nichols continued the fight? Martin replied no. He wasn't fighting at all. Now remember, all the stuff that was said, all the things that was done. When the prosecutor asked Officer Martin, was it true that Tyre Nichols continued the fight? Officer Martin's response is, no, he wasn't fighting at all. Which lends you to ask this just detrimental question. Why in the hell were they beating him? He wasn't fighting at all. So if you get pulled over by some people, they don't tell you who they are, unmarked cars, yank you out of a car and start beating you. And by some luck or grace, you are able to escape their initial assault and run for your life. They catch you after you've done nothing wrong. They catch up to you and proceed to kick the life out of you. To beat, punch, and kick the life out of you. When they left that boy bloodied, handcuffed, and slumped against the car, they didn't call for medical attention. They didn't mention that they beat him up to the lieutenant when they showed up. They didn't mention it to dispatch that they had deployed tasers on that boy. They didn't mention any of that. They said the boy was high. An example should be made of this department and these police officers. An example should be made. An example needs to be made. This is not policing. That's not me hating on the police department. That's got nothing to do with policing. That's gang activity. There's nothing different from what these guys did. These There's nothing different from what they did than any other gang activity. They set him up, they stalked him, they beat him. He literally died from beating. He died from the trauma, head trauma, and the doctor said he had tears in his brain. His brain tissue had tears. What kind of savage does that to somebody? That's not police work. That has nothing to do with police. That has nothing to do with policing whatsoever. There was no crime, first of all. They violated his rights. If the right against a legal search and seizure, so they violated that right. They violated his civil rights. They lied. They omitted. Let me finish the transcript. Okay. No, he was not fighting at all. Martin responded to the prosecutor. It didn't happen that way. It just didn't happen that way. Okay? When he described what that lady wrote when it was read, what Officer Valandria McKinney, what she wrote, Officer Martin said it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way at all. And she wasn't there, so she wouldn't know. Martin attested that much of the information was intentionally fabricated and key details were omitted. Gilbert then presented the supervisor, Dwayne Smith's report from the night of Nichols' arrest. That report included what Martin calls false information from his former colleagues, including that Nichols was refusing to comply and attempted to grab Martin's gun from the holster. That was all false. It was all a lie. It also admitted much of the physical trauma Nichols sustained. They left it out, that they beat the boy like that. Martin testified that he spoke with the FBI, and over time from the continued questionings, the truth came out in the FBI investigation reports. How did the truth come out? When Gilbert probed Martin on his plea, asking if he hopes the plea to guilty will lower his sentence, Martin pleaded guilty to 2 of his 4 federal charges. So he had to tell the truth in order to get his plea that he needed. That's how the truth came out. Or they were going to keep concealing it, even though we have to film. They beat this boy, and they lied about it. An example needs to be made out of them, all of them. I don't know how Miss McKinney is led. There's nothing mentioned about her facing any consequences. She filed a false police report. She lied. She should be held accountable as well. She's just as much a part of this as everybody else, because she tried to cover it up. So for a recap, Officer Martin was sitting at an intersection. He saw the Nichols boy drive by. He did not break the law. He did not run a red light. As he stated, he didn't run the red light. He made it. He got behind him anyway. He got behind him. Even though he hadn't broken the law, he ran his plates. Illegal search and seizure right there. He had no reason. There's no justification for running that boy's plate. He didn't do anything. He was following the boy. He noticed the boy making lane changes. He wanted to say that he was speeding, but he didn't have his radar on. Once he found out who it was, he just followed him. He called his homeboy, Haley, on a private line, not the police radio. He didn't use the police radio. He didn't use any police equipment. He called them on his private line. He used a private radio to call his partner, Haley. Officer Martin called Officer Haley on a private radio. I got your boy. I'm behind him. Haley says, I'll take care of him. He let him know where the boy was. Haley pulls in front of him, blocking the boy off. This is evident by the video. Haley blocked the boy's car in. Martin pulled up alongside of him on the driver's side. They have him boxed in. Haley gets out his car and yanks Nichols from his car. Get the F out of the car. Not, this is the Memphis Police Department. Can I have your license and registration? He didn't need his license and registration because he knew who he was. No police protocol being followed here. Yanked the boy out of the car, and then they proceeded to beat him. They beat him. They were trying to get handcuffs on him. They punched him. They kicked him. They were holding his arms while still trying to tell him, okay, there was 5 different commands at the same time, according to the police report, according to the prosecution and the report, the court report. 5 officers yelling different commands at the same time. That's intentional. That caused confusion. How can you comply with everybody at the same time? You can hear him when they say get on the ground. You can hear him say out loud, I'm on the ground, which he was. When they take out their pepper spray to pepper spray the innocent Tyre Nichols, they were getting ready to pepper spray him. The officer bumbled and sprayed himself and his comrades. This gave Nichols just enough opportunity to escape and run. He ran towards his home. He ran for safety, in fear of his life. Being 145 pounds, already have taken a beating, I can imagine he wasn't running as fast as one could, or as fast as he could. He'd just been beaten. They caught up to him. They didn't put him in handcuffs, put him in the car. Oh no, they proceeded to beat the life out of the boy. To kick him in the head, to kick him in the chest. 2 275-pound men kicked this 145-pound dude in the chest and the head. No part of that is police procedure. No part of that is not in no training book, nowhere to do that. Tyre Nichols was assaulted and murdered by the Memphis Police Department. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. These guys shouldn't be found innocent of anything. Everything they're charged with, they're guilty of. Every single one of them. And even this lady, this officer, Valandria McKinney, who submitted that false report, she needs to be held accountable too. How did she slip through the cracks? Nobody explains why she's not being held accountable. If for some reason her picture's been removed, I can't find a picture of her now. I had one, now that's gone. I saw it earlier, but now it's gone. Strange, isn't it? Why are they hiding? Why are the police hiding? They always like to say, if you've done nothing wrong, why are you hiding? Why won't you tell me if you've done nothing wrong? If they've done nothing wrong, why are they removing their pictures? Why are they removing why are they removing information of them then? They've done nothing wrong. Where's that transparency there? We spent all this millions of dollars getting them cameras. They just take the cameras off and throw them. He threw his camera off. So Martin said he threw his camera. He didn't want nobody to see what he did. And he told his buddy to turn his camera off. What good are the cameras if they can just do that? If it wasn't for that sky camera, we would have never known what happened because they all lied. Every single one of them lied. That's not one bad apple. That whole tree is rotten. We're not going to let it be forgotten, Mr. Nichols. Brother Tyre Nichols, you're not going to be forgotten. Rest in love. We're going to keep searching for justice for our people. We're going to keep bringing it to the forefront, and we're going to keep asking questions. Justice will be found. Like I said, these guys were found guilty in federal court already. They already faced federal charges. They're not going to get out of those sentences. They're going to have to go to prison. There's no way around that. But I don't see how they were allowed to move this case to a predominantly Caucasian location and let these officers off on stuff that we can see on film. There's no way you can say they're innocent after seeing that video. They're innocent of what? What are they innocent of? Innocent of what? What charge were they charged with that they were innocent on? They're guilty of every single thing and more that they were charged with. And the low-life, degenerate person that could look at that video and say any one of those officers are innocent, those people should be spotlighted as well. You got to wonder about a person who could see any of that and think that that's okay. That it's okay for police officers to behave this way. And I pose to you this question. If that is okay for police officers to behave this way, how come we don't see it being done to the other side? Can you show me a picture of or a case or incident where some black cops yanked out a member of the dominant society and beat them to death? Can you show me that video? I'd love to see it. Since it's okay, I mean, why isn't it not being done to an Asian? Why is he not pulling over an Asian person who didn't run the red light, who they have no idea if he's speeding or not? Why don't they just pull over one, yank him out the car, and beat him to death? Since that's police procedure, how come we don't see it being done on anybody else? I'm just asking a question, because you're telling us that's fine. So it should be fine if it happens to your people then, right? Since that's okay, and they follow police procedure, then where's the other people getting beaten like this? Where's the other side of the coin? Where's the Caucasian man getting yanked from the car and kicked to death? Where's the Asian guy getting yanked from the car, getting kicked to death? Where are those instances? I don't see them. Because this is police. We're told, foundational black Americans, we're told when this happens to us that these officers are just following procedure. So is that a special procedure just for us? Can't possibly be for everybody, because we don't see it. It's your boy, Lord Eric Steele. We're going to keep pressing on these issues. We're not going to let it drop. This is the final installment on this particular chapter. The story of Tyre Nichols is done, unfortunately. We lost our brother, and we send condolences to his family. FBA All Day will continue to bring you the truth as I find it. If I have any mistakes, I will bring those mistakes to the forefront and allow you, because I'm not beyond reproach. But everything I've read to you is from the court transcript. I didn't deviate. I didn't add. I've given you the facts as they were presented in this court case. This was a murder. Simple and plain. Tyre Nichols was murdered. Tyre Nichols was murdered. Simple and plain. FBA All Day, my people. Pay attention. We got a lot more coming up. There's a lot more Skin Folk episodes coming through. There's more gems coming. Looking forward to gems tomorrow morning. We'll be dropping another gem session. We have our new website coming out. Our website will be attached to the music video for the new Skin Folk song that dropped. It's been a while. Big Rossi done jumped back on the mic, so Skin Folk is coming out. The video for that is coming out. There's also going to be links to other music as well as our t-shirt purchases and other merch you can get. FBA All Day. You can look forward to this series continuing. I will keep breaking it down best I can and giving you guys explanations for these instances and bringing the truth to you. We are seeking justice for our people. This is why reparations is so important for us. This is just one example of why it's so important for our people to receive our reparations. It's past due, okay? It's past due. Lord Eric Steele, your boy, I'm out.